Okay, so we're just gonna make a simple up trace for float legering. Can be used for legering as well, but we're just going to set up a float rig, and what we've done there, I'll put a quick change trace link on here and then crimp that on there. Okay, so that's at the bottom. This up trace needs to be longer than the actual trace you're using, and what it does is it stops the bait from coming up into your main line, which is going to be braid. So if it happened, if it was to flutter up, or the pike was to push it and miss it the first time, or maybe it was a miscast and it's tangled on your main line and you didn't realize, then this gives you peace of mind that that pike can't bite through. So on here we've got the quick change trace link there, which just makes it very easy to put the trace on and off, which is really good. And then above that I've just crimped that on to our wire. Okay, and then here we've got the egg sinker, which has got the rubber tail on the end, and that just simply pulls over there. Okay, so that's ready to go. You would clip your trace onto here and then put your dead bait onto that one. At the top here is where we need to have the swivel, and again I'm just crimping that onto the top of that up trace. It's a bit fiddly because it's absolutely freezing today. So these are a job which you can do when you're at home and you've got plenty of time for preparation. It's always good just to make sure that everything is super strong. So let that down, give it a really good pull. So that is super strong now. So that's your up trace, and that's ready to go. Okay, so basic float rig, float stop, bead, float, just got a 25 gram one there, and a buffer bead. I'm going to put on the up trace, move that out the way with a Palomar knot. So going to double over the line, plenty of line through, so it makes it a bit easier, although it's absolutely freezing today, which makes it a bit trickier on your fingers. Overhand granny knot, and then as you've done the knot you keep the loop at the end, and then grab the up trace, just got the lead on that, come through there, wet it, gently ease it back down. As with all knots, there's no rush, and then that should go nice and tight. Pull the tag end as well. Always test the knots, make sure they're nice and strong. And we're just going to trim off that tag end. The buffer bead can sit on the swivel, means it doesn't destroy the bottom of the float. And then you've got your lead with a quick change link and the float, and then it's just a simple case of grabbing your lead with the quick change link, grabbing a bait, that's the swivel, and that just loops around there like that, and then that's got your dead bait connected to your lead and your quick change trace, and above that you've got the up trace, and then that leads to your float. And then what that means is that bait can't come up like normally. This could be your main line or your main braid. It can't come up and it can't get bitten through, so it gives security for getting bitten off by any pike. And you can use that for legering, you can use that for your float rigs as well. So it's a good bit of bib and braces really, to really make sure your rigs are bulletproof. Okay, so that float is a typical bite where you're fishing dead depth and it's running across the surface. I'm going to reel fast, catch up to it, set the hook. There we go. Doesn't feel very big, but it's a pike. That took the float fish mackerel. No, only a small one, but pike is pike. There we go, you can see the float, you can see the uptrace. There we go, and you can see the pike. There we go. Whoa! Little fight there. There we go. I've handled thousands of pike in my life. If you see the hooks are inside then, and I would always suggest that you net the fish. But there we go. A nice pike on the float fish tactics which we've talked about today. So a bit of proof in the pudding there that they work. So we'll then hook this one now and then slip her back. So here we've got a basic ledger rig. Uptrace, which we've spoken about before. Lead can run all the way through there nice and freely. And when we look at the lead, got big lead on there, that's 4 ounce lead. It's very windy, very choppy, holds the bottom and it makes an anchor so it doesn't move at all when you get a bite. Then I've got a run ring, big bore run ring, so that can literally, lead's on the bottom and that's there just running through there nice and easy. That goes up to a buffer bead, so when the lead runs up it's got a little bit of cushioning, and when you're playing fish as well it's got a lot of cushioning. And it goes to the quick change clip, and on the quick change clip we've got the trace. At the moment it's just got a smelt on there just to show you, so that would be ready to cast out. Up trace, run ring, go down to a quick change clip and onto the trace. And then for example, if the pike or this was to get tangled or anything like this at all, you've got that bib and braces again just to stop that pike biting through that main line. And that is a simple free running ledger rig.